Today's inspirational reading is taken from the Daily Word from January 5th. As I help, I share the love of God with the world. I am a compassionate listener and an open and accepting presence. I may volunteer for causes that help those in need, or I may reach out my hand to help them directly. I care for the earth by living in ways that nurture and sustain the planet and its creatures. I keep my mind open and my heart soft so others are comfortable revealing their tenderest selves to me. I am the hands and feet of God on earth, making contributions to the world in the spirit of gratitude, peace, and love. All right. Today's speaker has been of service to and with the inner Christ for many years. She writes, keeps the office going, instructs. She gives Tuesday meetings. Truth Day Tuesdays, they're called. She's a wonderful leader, a teacher. And so she's speaking on embracing love here and now. Let's welcome leader, teacher, inner Christ counselor, Jennifer Allen-Prather.
Thank you. You might want to keep that up here.
Oh, okay, you want that?
No, but it's good for you. Welcome, everyone, and good morning.
Good morning.
Even though it seems gray outside, it's a beautiful morning.
Yes, it is.
The title today, Embracing Love Here and Now. I like Bible quotes. In the Holy Bible from Psalms, chapter 52, verse 8. I love the Psalms. It says, "But I am like an olive tree, flourishing in the house of God. I trust in God's unfailing love forever and ever." And also from Psalms, verse 23, chapter 23, verse 6. "Surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever." Both of these verses have love and house in them. And house metaphysically usually means consciousness. And so when we have a love consciousness, we are dwelling in the house of the Lord forever. And we are flourishing like an olive tree. Much has been said about love. Love of a partner, a romantic partner. Love of family. Love of friends. But God's love is all-encompassing, unconditional. There are no conditions. There's no judgment in God's love. And it's forever. It's beyond the intellectual understanding. Many have had a glimpse of this all-powerful love by their experience of a love feeding from God through their higher nature, as witnessed in the teaching of the inner Christ. And the book Being a Christ by Ann and Peter Meyer is our basic textbook for our basic course, Inner Sensitivity. On page 88, about love feedings. It says, love feedings are vibrational feedings of the Christ love given to the individual receiving them feelings of joy, love, and ecstasy. These feelings sometimes grow to such magnitude that they are difficult to bear. But God never gives us any more than we can handle. The person receiving such a love feeding may relieve this feeling of intense love and joy by sending it out to those about them or to the world. What a wonderful thing. What a wonderful way of God's loving us. And it's available to all of us. In the teaching of the inner Christ, we have had and still do have what are called love power circles, where those who have taken the teaching of the inner Christ basic course, Inner Sensitivity, have connected through meditation, this meditation circle, with their higher nature or their inner Christs, where two or more are gathered together. There is great spiritual power, healing, and lifting. And again on page 152 of Being in Christ, in page 102 of Being in Christ, it says, at a love power circle, which is held for the purpose of channeling the Christ love to the world, a table may be placed in the center of the room with 8 students seated at it, and around this central group can be seated a large circle of 40, 60, or more persons. The table serves as the center of concentration for the group. The program of events, in quotes, is determined by the Christ teachers, the inner teachers or spiritual teachers, who are leading the meeting from the level of spirit. And all experiences happen in perfect order. These people are given visions, power feedings, love feedings, ecstatic love feedings, feedings of truth for themselves and the world. So it's not just for the individual. It usually is sent out to the world in great power and lifting the world. And we know the world needs this power. Some may make their first contact with their own in Christ or I am selves. The love power reaches great heights of harmony and joy. Carried on with wisdom and through the Christ contact, the practice of the table tipping can be a most joyful and rewarding experience. And also on page 152 of Being in Christ, it states, the Christ-minded sensitive becomes a vibrational bridge, channeling the higher vibrations onto the earth level. And they're helping to change the old thought vibrations of limitation, which have polluted the thought atmosphere of the human race. They emit radiations of the Christ love power, which tend to harmonize their environment wherever they go. And if you have conscious contact with your inner Christ, it is well to channel from your Christ or I am self often, for this brings the Christ vibration through the earth and lifts all those about you and the whole human race. So every time we go into meditation, we are lifting not only ourselves, but the whole human race. Wherever you go, especially in places where there is an atmosphere of fear or pain, such as hospitals, courtrooms, prisons, or other institutions, you can send this love out, this healing love, and lift those vibrations. It is prophesied that in the future all human beings will have conscious inner Christ contact, and thus the vibratory level of the whole earth will be completely different. Love, beauty, and joy will pervade the atmosphere, and health, energy, youth, and genius will be the birthright of all through the unfolding of the Christ consciousness. Isn't that what we envision for ourselves in our world? We can do that together, all of us, through this love vibration. It's possible if we hold that vision, and it's a wonderful vision for the world. my own experience of being in the moment, embracing the here and now of love, was at what we called at the time our grand seminar. Now it's called Spiritual Celebration. And it was probably back in the 90s, 1990s. And I had just, well, actually the late 80s, I had just broken up in a relationship with a dear man that I had known for over 7 years. And it was especially devastating for me at the time. And we had a love power circle, and there must have been 200 people there. It was up at Mammoth Mountain. And I was in the circle, and I didn't expect anything to happen. But all of a sudden I sobbed uncontrollably. I was just heaving my chest with sobs. And I was being fed this energy, this love energy. And after that, my grief was healed. And it was it felt like an arm had been removed from me, or a leg. That's how deep the hurt was. But after that beautiful experience with the Love Power Circle that lifted the world as well, I was healed of this deep hurt. It was a wonderful, wonderful healing. We have some books called our Peak Books, our Love Scriptures. They're channel messages from an anonymous group called the Brotherhood of the Followers of the Present Jesus. Jesus channels through, the present day Jesus channels through. And in one of the books called The Dawning of the Age of Light, Jesus says, "You know that God is love, and that love is everywhere present. Love manifests itself in all that you see, feel, and experience. Know this to be the truth of your being, and flow with the stream of universal love. Know that this all-enfolding power of love is yours to accept and use for the enrichment of your life and the lives of others. Spread it afar. Love lifts the world and all in it." Again, not only lifting us, but the world. And he goes on to say, "Love is the greatest subject on which your mind can dwell. As you dwell within love, your concept of love becomes larger and more filled with understanding. You grow in your understanding of humanity and live constantly in the awareness of love. So seek love everywhere, in everything and in everyone, in every situation. He who seeks finds, and he who finds grows in his awareness of God's love in the world." That's on page 8 of Dawning of the Age of Light. And then, last but not least, open yourself to an outpouring of greater love than you have ever known. Love which may seem to you to be beyond human love. Know this love with all your being. That's the love we're talking about today. When we align ourselves with our own inner Christ, or I am self, we're connecting to the direct pipeline to love God. We can be present to love anytime we call out the names of our higher selves. We are never alone and are always loved unconditionally. Anytime we affirm a positive I am statement, we are present to love. Anytime we meditate, we are present to love. Anytime we show kindness, we are present to love. Anytime we show gratitude, we are present to love. And anytime we grieve, we are present to love, because our hearts are open. Surely goodness and mercy and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Thank you for your attention today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And that was wonderful, inspiring, informative, just beautiful. And if you have found value in today's service, we invite you to assist in supporting the teaching of the inner Christ as you are led, and but do so by visiting our website, and that is teachingoftheinnerchrist.org, with your donation. We trust completely what Jesus promised us in Luke 6:38, and I read, "Give, and it will be given to you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be put in your lap. For the measure that you use, it will be measured back to you." So I thank you for your love and the form of your gifts.